Greetings everyone. Welcome to today's pre-event webinar titled Technology, Automation and Innovation in Vertical Farming. This webinar is conducted under the banner of 5th Global Vertical Farming Show, which is Middle East's largest and only exclusive vertical farming event taking place on 10th and 11th September 2024 in Dubai. My name is Rushda Zafar and I am your host for this webinar. It is my honor to introduce you all to our esteemed speakers. We have Victor Cantor Ferrer. He is the CEO and co-founder of ENKITEK. Sriram Gopal. He is the CEO of FUTR.AG. Next, we have Victoria Kobzistaya, Business Development Manager at BFAR. We have Martin Mindorf. He is the executive member of the board at NanoNord AS. I welcome you all today. So first of all, I would like to ask Martin, what role does cutting-edge technology plays in optimizing resource utilization and crop yield in vertical farming systems? Martin, please.
Thank you very much, Rushda. And yes, first of all, vertical farming is quite new to NanoNord. So this is coming from the perspective of sensor technology. So just quickly introducing NanoNord, we make a nuclear magnetic resonance-based sensor platform that you can install in your vertical farming solutions and measure in near real time the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium concentration, and so on to optimize the nutrients. And taking from what we've learned from other areas of business like the food industry or lithium industry and so on, we see a clear reduction in use of chemicals, and we see a clear improvement in terms of output when using our technology and sensor technology in general to optimize the processes. So what we do differently from, let's say, normal sensor technologies is to measure using the same principle as you maybe know from the hospitals. So you have these big MR scanners in the hospitals that cost tens of millions, but that we've taken down and scaled down to a very cost-effective sensor. So we see sensor technology reducing chemical use and improving the output because of the better data that we gain.
Thank you, Martin. Now I would like to ask Victoria, how has automation revolutionized the landscape of vertical farming practices, and what benefits does it bring to the industry? Victoria?
Thank you, Rushda. To answer your question, to understand the impact of automation, I think that we need to consider two levels of automation that are present right now in the market. So the first level of automation is the new standard we have when building the vertical farmings right now. It's ensuring that the vertical farmings are watered properly, that we have the automized control of temperature, humidity, and the environmental factors to ensure that our vertical farm are performing in the controlled environment. I'm representing the robotics company, the company that was in the sector for more than 40 years, and we've developed the solution for farmers. So if we consider the processes that the farmer has to go through when performing the everyday tasks, we need to remember that there is a lot of manual labor required. We still need to load the shelves. We still need to put the trays on the shelves. We need to collect the product for harvesting. So what do robots can do for us right now? They can take the seeded tray and insert it in the system, and then the farmer needs to take it only for harvesting. So a lot of manual labor is reduced. What is the benefits for automation? Answering your question.
Thank you, Victoria, for answering the question. And it is true that with the advancement in automation technology in vertical farming, we can see greater improvements in efficiency, productivity, and sustainability. So my next question is from Sriram, that how do data analytics and AI application contributes to enhancing decision-making processes and operational efficiency in vertical farming environment? Sriram, please.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me here, and I'm really happy to represent my company here. So we run a company called FUTR.AG, and I've personally had about a decade of experience in setting up controlled environment projects. What I've realized is, at least in the days to come, AI and analytics are going to play a very significant role in the domain of vertical farming. And I say this, you can broadly split them into two parts. So one is in the above the line activity, which is like the better decision making or better control systems. And the second one is in improving operational efficiency. So when I say decision making support, you can use or leverage a lot of the computing capability that is available today to measure advanced metrics in real time. And you often see that people tend to use a lot of devices in monitoring various parameters in a vertical farm. But one is knowing the data, but the second one is understanding the data. So I think data analytics and AI are going to play a huge role because they're going to combine a lot of knowledge sources into the raw data, and they're going to give you a new dimension of insights, which eventually will help the farmers take better decisions in managing the farms. And the second part of this is the improving operational efficiency. Because you have better visibility of your farm conditions, you are able to plan and schedule things much better. And especially in areas where, task automation or supply chain optimization, yield forecasting, and all these areas, I think the data analytics part and AI is going to play a significant role. So it is definitely going to push us in the path of making vertical farms more viable, more competitive, and try and reduce that price barrier as well as an industry.
Thank you so much, Sriram, for answering. Now, I would like to ask Victor about the challenges associated with integrating automation and robotics into vertical farming systems, and what are the innovations addressing these challenges?
Okay, sure. Thank you, and thank you for the invitation. So the challenge that the main challenge, there are many challenges, but I will focus just on three. So the first one would be the high initial cost. So when you are, I am talking about the second level of automation that Victoria was addressing to. So when you want to integrate automated process that handle all the handling, manual handling, and so on. So the high initial cost. So they have to check, or the main challenge is that we find some modular systems that allow the farmers to scale. So not to try to start from the big picture, so just start small and scale. The second challenge would be the technical complexity and integration. Because the challenge is to have an integrated platform that can manage all the aspects of the farm. Because if not, they can finally go to have silo applications that in the future they will be harder to integrate. And the third challenge is to go for scalability, because yeah, for sure, start simple, and then you have to be sure that the technologies and system that you are choosing, they scale in a good way. Because sometimes in a small scale things work, but then when you grow, those things that doesn't go right. So they have to find to work with modular design principles that allow the farms to incrementally add more automation as they grow. And how the innovators are addressing this challenge. So first one, advanced robotics that can handle multiple tasks. So if you are doing an investment and you are putting some kind of robotic solution that only does one thing, that will be not a very good return of investment. The second way the innovators are addressing, as Sriram already told, is the use of AI and machine learning and data. So using all this potential that this technology has, it's much easier to succeed. And the third one would be it's collaboration and open innovation. So it's not feasible right now today that everyone tries to do everything by themselves. So I truly believe on the models of collaboration with between academics and the industry, and this is like the way that the innovators are addressing this challenge.
Thank you so much, Victor, for addressing these challenges and highlighting how we can address them. Now, coming back to Martin, I would like to ask, how can vertical farming leverage advancement in sensor technology and lighting system to maintain optimal growing conditions and ensure crop quality? Martin, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. coming from the sensor perspective, of course, I can say more about sensors than lighting. But just to think about now, everybody's talking about AI and what can AI do for me. So even if you have the most clever man in the world and you tell him to drive a bus, if he's blind, he's not going to be able to drive the bus. And it's the same with the AI. We need good quality data to feed into the AI to have the AI give any meaningful output. And I think that is especially where sensors become relevant and where we are seeing increased demand for sensors in many areas of business. So I think sensors will be key to feeding the right data into AI. And that in turn, I mean, will help improve the output. But of course, there's a learning phase. So when we collect all these data, we also have to kind of have a phase where we learn how can we utilize the data, and then in the end, how can we improve yield. But I'm certain that better sensors and lighting, I cannot say so much about, but that will help improve output in long term. So that's my answer to that question.
So thank you so much, Martin. Now I would like to ask Sriram about the key consideration for vertical farming businesses when implementing automation strategies to achieve scalability and long-term success. Sriram.
Yeah, so thank you, Rushda, for the question. So again, when it comes to vertical farming, I think they come in all sizes and shapes. So I think one needs to really have a strategy in approaching a farm. So the way I would look at it is, first, you need to see whether this is going to be a mega farm or a decentralized, hyper-local kind of a modular farm. So I think that probably is your first consideration when you're looking at a vertical farm. Then you go into the second or the first most important, which is the ROI. So it's the objective, right? So vertical farms today can do a number of crops for a number of reasons or applications. It can be research, it can be commercial production, or it can be some other purpose as well. So one needs to understand if, this is going to be a volume-based business or a value-based business. It's quality or quantity. And based on that, you have the choice of deciding whether you're going to incorporate more active systems or passive control systems. And there is a significant correlation to this with cost. The next consideration would be the accuracy. Like Martin was stating, if you put bad input, you're obviously going to get bad output. So you need to decide based on what your objective is, whether, you're going to go for really high precision, high accurate sensors and data collectors. When compared to, you can have it reasonably forgiving, you're not aiming at that perfection, then you could try and play around with secondary components as such. Then forgiveness and flexibility. How many things can go wrong in that farm? Then level of automation. Again, this is a very location-centric, criteria. If I'm in Singapore, cost of labor is going to be extremely high when compared to if I'm in, let's say, India or some other part of the world. So based on this, the level of automation, which has a direct correlation with cost, of course, is also a key criteria. Maybe it is better to have it less technically intensive in some locations where you feel that post-setup service can be an issue, or availability of technical expertise can be an issue, or runtime. So these are some of the key challenges, but I would say the top two would be, the commercial aspect of it, whether it's meeting ROI in that particular location. And second one is post-setup serviceability, or, the operating expense of a farm like this.
Thank you so much, Sriram, for your inputs. Victor, we would love to hear from you what you have to say on the key consideration for vertical farming businesses when implementing automation strategies for long-term success. Victor?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So the first consideration for the success would be as I already mentioned, the technology selection and integration. So they have to be sure that the technology they choose, it has interoperability, so it can interact with all the rest of systems that they have on the farm. Modularity and scalability for the long-term success for sure. The second point, it's the one thing that I like always to remark, is that here it's not just about technology. So farms are run by farmers and by farm operators. So if you want to introduce automation, okay, you are introducing technology, but there will be people there. So the second point for me would be the workforce development. So in the strategy for introducing automation on the farms, they have to consider training and education. And also, maybe if it makes sense, human-machine collaboration. That just, it's not just here we have the machine and here we have the people, so they can consider also this environment. And the third one, it's also very important. It's to not be so not fall into the FOMO, fear of missing out. All the automation that they put on the farms, it has to be focused on the business. So for me, operational efficiency would be one of the consideration that they have to attend to be focused on process optimization to reduce operational costs and to make a good resource management. So if they are able to do it cheaper or more optimize the process and use less resources, then for the long term of the success of the automation implementation, yeah, that would be a success.
Thank you so much, Victor. Victoria, would you like to add anything to this?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with Sriram. I agree with Victor. Thank you very much for your inputs. The one thing I would like to add is the selection of the partner that the farmer builder, the investor, or the farmer are choosing. So since the initial investment for the vertical farm is significant, it's very important to know the company that will walk you through the entire process. So it should be the company that will be able to design, to test, to implement the system, to install it, and to provide the after-sales service. It is very important for you to know that right now the trend in vertical farming is moving towards the growing of diversity, different plants that can be inside the vertical farm. So it's not one, it's not five anymore. For example, bee farm has more than 50 growing recipes inside. So we develop the farmers, we develop the business, we help them to grow more, and we help them to ensure that the systems that are there in the market help them to be more profitable. So please keep in mind that after-sales service and the design and the entire support throughout your journey in vertical farming is very important. And of course, consider the initial investment that you are making. It might seem that the initial investment for the automized vertical farm, completely automized, is higher. Yes, it is, but it will be offset if you have enough demand, if you have the significant decrease in labor cost. So that is where the industry is moving right now. Please get in touch if you need to have more details about that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Victoria. Truly implementing automation strategies in vertical farming requires a comprehensive approach. So this brings us to the end of this informative webinar. Today's discussion has underscored the transformative impact of technology, innovation, and automation in vertical farming. It is clear that embracing these technology will be crucial for long-term success. Thank you all for your participation and insightful contribution. Let's contribute to innovate and collaborate to shape the future of agriculture together. So the event is on 10th and 11th September in Dubai. We are looking forward to meeting you all at the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today.
Thank you.